Tune in to the Real Last Hour, a 1-hour informative and educational forum dedicated to the recovery of economic activity for Liberian informal sector employment Real Last Project.
This show offers in-depth discussions on social protection in Liberia and explores how the government is addressing vulnerability through the Real Last Project.
The Real Last Hour aired on Spoon FM 107.5 and other frequencies across the Spoon network in Liberia. Catch us every second and fourth Thursday of the month. Don't miss it. Be a part.
It's exactly 2 minutes after 5 p.m. Today is August 29, 2024. My name is Henry Smo. This is the maiden edition of the Realize Hour. Realize is a recovery of economic activity for Liberian informal sector employment project. Is run by the Ministry of Youth and Sports, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, and the Liberia Agency for Community Empowerment. Like I said, my name is Henry Smo. Today is the maiden edition of this radio show on Spoon FM. And my colleague is also here with me today to start this show. Welcome to the show, Mr. Flomo.
Thank you so much, Henry. It's good to be here to start the show.
So would you like to introduce yourself properly?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Jutomo Stanford Flomo, and I'm the environmental officer of the Realize Project. And it's good to be here today in Spoon FM studio to talk about the Realize Project, the kind of work we are doing, and how we are making contribution to the poor and vulnerable population in Liberia. It's good to be here, Henry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stanford. It was on a very quick basis that we had to arrange today's edition of the show. We're going to be interchangeably speaking on some of the issues, but you're going to take most of the punches. Realize is an acronym. We've always said it stands for a very long explanation. I said it first. Will you want to start with it before we move to the various components of the project?
Yes, Henry, sure. So the acronym of the project Realize means Recovery of Economic Activity for Liberian Informal Sector Employment. So based on the name, we are specifically targeting people in the informal sector, and we are specifically targeting poor and vulnerable populations. So as we go along, we'll talk more about the project and the kind of work we do.
So how far we are and when we came to be?
So this project started in 2021 when the World Bank agreed with the government of Liberia to kickstart the Realize Project. Now, we have been into implementation since 2021. Now we are in 2024, and we are midway in implementation, running up to 2026. So let me just give you a little background of the parent project, and then we go to the additional financing. So the Realize Project started in 2021, like I said, but at the time with a very limited scope. So the project was just about $10 million US, and the only donor was the World Bank. The government of Liberia, after COVID-19, realized that most of its citizens were impacted, especially those into small businesses and in the informal sector, because the lockdown as a result of the COVID-19 made a lot of business people to either risk shocks of collapsing or at the verge of collapsing. So the government saw that and saw the need to assist its citizens. So the government of Liberia went to the World Bank, and then they wrote the proposal to start. The World Bank gave minimum at the time was $10 million US, $5 million in grant and $5 million in loan, and the project started. At the time, it was just limited to Greater Monrovia, because from studies, Greater Monrovia was mostly impacted by COVID-19. So the project started at that time in Greater Monrovia. Since 2021, we have been into implementation, and there were 3 components at the time. 2 targeting the beneficiaries, and then 1 for project implementation. So the first one was component 1, small business support, or we say support to small businesses, wherein we were supporting small business owners, giving them grant of up to $900 US, so that they are able to be more productive, because the impact of COVID-19 was affecting them greatly. And then component 2 is the temporary employability support for vulnerable workers. So people in that category were people basically maybe from high school, or people who have not been in the classroom at all, who did not have any employment. We're providing them temporary employment where they work in their own communities, do community work, and then we paid them a little labor subsidy at the time of $240 USD. And then component 3 for project implementation. So we went on and on until we got additional financing. The World Bank came back and gave us additional $20 million. And thanks to the French also through AFD, they gave us additional $9.9 million. And then the Swedish gave us money as well. So the project now has scaled up to $42 million US, and 2 new components have been added. That is the community livelihood and agriculture support, which we'll talk about later on, and then the social cash transfer. So far so good. That's how we started, and this is where we are.
Thank you so much for that overview, which is very great. And we have 4 operational components of the projects, beside the 2 other components that got to do project management and then contingency for emergency. And the contingency, the emergency component is just dormant until the government of Liberia says there is a need for us to respond to this particular shock that has come. Probably there was an outbreak, a pandemic that came, and then the government say we need to take money from all the components or from this specific component and put it in this component to make sure we respond to this emergency. And then the other one is project management and coordination, where all the transportation, fuel, cars, and other implementation funding come from. So this is great with the 6 components of this project. I know we've implemented a lot of our activities across the country. We operate in 14 counties except Maryland County, which is currently being covered by Give Directly under their universal income program, which gives unconditional cash to families and households in Maryland County, and they are expected to be in Maryland County for the next 3 years, supporting families, vulnerable and poor, full insecure families in Maryland County. So after you gave an elaborate explanation of our operational components, we come specifically to component 1, which is support to small businesses. Where do we operate?
Okay, so for support to small businesses, right now as it is, we are in our 3rd round of implementation. So we started round 1 in Greater Monrovia, and then round 2. Now we are in round 3, and round 3 we are targeting Montserrat and Margibi counties.
Okay.
So I'll give you an overview of the activities, what we do, the beneficiaries we target, and so on and so forth. So the support to small business, like I said, after the shock from the COVID-19 and businesses were crumbling, the government saw the need to assist. So we started working with small businesses, especially those ones in the informal sector, those ones that are not registered or so, and we have been supporting them, giving them up to $900 US, and working along with them, providing them business management training so that they...
So how do you get somebody to become a beneficiary of the Company 1, which is support to small businesses?
Very good. This is our targeting approach. We have data we are working with from ListGIS. We have communities that we are working with as well. So in the first place, your business should be located in one of our project communities. That's the first thing. Once your business is located in one of our project communities, you stand a chance. Additionally, you have to be 18 years old and above, because the legal working age in Liberia is 18 years and above. And now we have our business support in 2 categories: existing business and new business. So for existing business, we are targeting people who were into business prior to COVID-19, and people who their business went down, some of them their business crumbled, but once you have proof or evidence that you have business before, we will work along with you. We go to the community, we do community mobilization, talk about the Real Lives project, and then the information is everywhere. Once you are 18 years old and above and you are residing in this community, you are being in business, you have a proof, you are eligible. So we identify a targeting center with the community leaders. We identify a targeting center, we set a date for recruitment. And it is important to state here today that our process is very, very transparent. We don't know any business, we don't know anybody. Once you hear the announcement and you are interested, you come on the day of recruitment. The good thing is we come on the radio, we talk about the recruitment dates in all of the communities. That is not enough. We go at the community level. We do publicity, go all around the community, tell you that we have recruitment, the Real Last Project, and recruitment will be done to this place. You have to come. We give you the chance. We stay at that location for 3 consecutive days, from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the evening. You come, you go through enumeration. We ask you a couple of questions about your business and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So once you go through the enumeration and you are eligible, we come back to the community, and then we do validation first with our eligible applicants, wherein we want to know whether you actually reside in that community or your business is there, so on and so forth. When you cross that stage, in the first place, we have a particular number of beneficiaries we are targeting. It's important to state that.
Yes.
So for the small business, at most, it's 78 persons per community. 78 businesses per community. So when we come, it's open. Even if we get up to 1,000, fine. They will all go through the process. For example, 500 out of the 1,000 is eligible, and we only need 78. To get the 78 now is where lottery comes in, right? So they are eligible. We go into the community, we post their names so that you see your name and you know that you are eligible. And then we set a new date for lottery. And once we set that date for lottery, we come back to the community, announce the new date for lottery, and make sure you come and be in attendance. And then when you come, we have a very transparent process. 2 lines, 1 for male, 1 for female. It's important to also state that we are very gender sensitive. So we have a gender parity of 50%. 50% male, 50% female.
So practically it's almost across all the other companies.
All of the other companies.
So the procedure for recruitment is the same for all the companies, except I think for the cash transfer approach.
Yes, only the cash transfer we have a different approach, which we will talk about later on. So you come, we have 2 lines, 1 for male, 1 for females. We have 2 transparent buckets. There is a enumerator there who will give you a ticket, a lottery ticket. The ticket, you have the ticket and a stop, and you are the one responsible to handle your own ticket. Your information is on the ticket. You have 1 copy for you, and then you fold the other one and put it in the bucket based on your gender. If you are a man, put it in the man bucket. Woman, put it in the woman bucket. We do that for all of the eligible applicants that will show up, and then we announce the time. The same day we announce the time for the lottery. Say for example, we say lottery is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We give you the opportunity to do your registration, go and do whatever you want to, and then you come that time, and then we choose a neutral person from the community. And I want to be clear, our definition of neutral is somebody who has no interest in what we are doing. So preferably we take a little child who does not have any interest. They don't want to be a business
But his
person.
mom or dad is participating in the lottery.
Sure.
So that's interest.
No, it's not an interest because the ticket that is issued you is folded. You will fold your own ticket and put it in the box.
Okay.
So we cannot tell which ticket belongs to Mr. Henry Sumo or which one is for Jutomu Flomo. We do not know. So although that little child might have their parent participating, but they are not able to identify their parent ticket because all of the tickets are folded. So the child will come and take ticket one after another until we can get the number of people we are targeting. So if it is 78 and we say we're breaking it down into 78, what's the even number distribution into 2 if we divide by 2? Let's take an even number, let's say 80, 40, 40, right?
Yes.
So if it is 80 persons and we say 40, 40, it means we're taking 40 males and 40 females. So we'll go through one at a time until we get the 40 males and get the 40 females. And the good thing is, it is done right in the full glare of all of our participants. So nobody can come and say, oh, I felt cheated, the people did it behind the scene. It's a very transparent project and process. And you wouldn't believe that we have been working in a lot of communities. We have worked in Loking Town, West Point, Nuku Town, and what have you. And it will interest you to note that in Loking Town specifically, there's a community called Vicky Sport. At the end of our intervention in Vicky Sport, we received a communication from the community leaders telling us, thank you, that since that community was established, this is the first time to see a project, especially a project being implemented by Liberians, to be transparent. it had no interest, and they were so happy. They got the benefit as we said to them, and today we have that letter on our desk.
So now we move on to what we offer. Component 1, we talk about offering support to small businesses through a $900 cash grant.
Yes.
Split into two, $450 for the first tranche, and then the second is $450 with transfer fee, everything. We move on to the labor-intensive public work.
Okay, so before we go to labor-intensive public work, let me just talk about the benefit a little.
Okay.
We talk about the financial aspect,
Yeah.
but we also have training that is attached to our benefit package, because we are not just interested in giving our beneficiaries cash and just leaving them like that. So we train them, we work along with them, we stay with them up to a year, giving them business management training, monitoring their business, because our intention is to make them better. So we don't just go in, give you money, and we go out. We work along with you. We have animators that check on them, making sure they are able to balance their books, helping them to open bank account, teaching them saving, and the importance of managing money and all of that, so that at the end of the day they are better. So moving on now to component 2. Component 2 is the labor-intensive public works, wherein we go into the community, the same recruitment process, be 18 years and above and reside in the community. And we already talked about the different processes involved, enumeration, lottery. Now you are a beneficiary. For the labor-intensive public works, we are targeting 100 beneficiaries per community. So you are a beneficiary in the 100. We divide the 100 beneficiaries into 4 groups, each group of 25 persons. And then the group each group will work along with the community leadership to identify a project that will meet the community need. So, like for example, in Edo community, Claratown, they face a lot of issue with flood. So the community came together. Maybe we can open the drainages and this and that. So if you identify the project you want to do, each group has a unique project. But it happens in some cases that more than one group will want to do one project.
Yeah.
So you identify your project, we work along with you to develop your proposal, your sub-project proposal, what you want to do. And then we give you a grant to procure all of what you need to do that job. So for example, if you want to open the drainages or waterway, right? You need shovel, you need wheelbarrow, rake, and what have you. You make a list of all you need, and then we give you the money. Each group will receive $1,125.
So let me hold you there, and then this cash business we're talking about, right? We're talking about people will be licking their hands, people will playing with huge money. What is the procedure in giving somebody money, and how is it given to the beneficiaries?
Okay,
do you carry in your vehicle in pockets or in bags to give it to people? Talking about thousands of dollars.
Sure. That's a very good question you are asking. No, we do not carry our money in bag or in our pocket.
Do you even see the money?
No, we do not even see the money. That's the first thing. So thank God now we are in a digital era, and we're having all lot of money transfer platforms. So as it is now for the Real Last project, we are using the Lone Star Cell mobile money platform to send out our cash to our beneficiaries. So we got cash going to the communities in 2 categories. The one that go towards the project or the business, like we say, and the one that go in your pocket as your own benefit for working on the Real Last project on the different components. So for the LRPW, we have cash coming in 2 folds. One, for the general group to do their project. That is, if at all they need the shovel, what have you, the 1,125 is given to the entire group, and then the group go and do that procurement. So for that one, the group will select somebody within among the 25 members that they trust, and that person is recommended to the community leadership. The community leadership vets the person, and they come and say, oh yes, the person, we have done the character check, background check, the person is good. They sign attestation that this person has good character. Then a mobile money SIM card is issued to that person on behalf of the group for that transfer. We make sure that SIM card is registered in that person's name and what have you. We do all of the checks, and then we send the 1,125 to that number for the group. And when the transfer is being made, we notify them that you'll be receiving transfer so and so date, where the group members can come together, and once they receive the transfer, they proceed to buy all of their tools. And then when
so he doesn't stay to a house and receive the alert, or he or she.
No.
You have to be among your colleagues and receive the alert.
Sure. And then when you do, we have our animators working with you at the community level. You must also sign an attestation that yes, we received 1,125 from the Real Life project on this date. You must sign, and then you give that copy to us. You go and procure your tools and whatever you need. You submit to us all of the receipts, and then you show proof through photographs that yes, you bought all of these things, and then you submit to us. That's the first one. The one that goes directly to the beneficiaries as the labor subsidy. We work along with all of the beneficiaries. We issue them SIM cards individually. If at all you do not have a mobile money SIM card that is registered in your name, but if you do, we take a number from you and verify with Lone Star Cell MTN. Once they say yes, this number is in Mr. Sumo's name, we gather that number from you, and then as you work based on milestone, we are able to do transfer to you in your own name. So we do not see you, we don't necessarily have to see you, we don't have to call you to a particular place and come give you cash. So we just give the money to you based on what you do.